Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Art World Confessions. I had a couple topics this week that I wanted to cover. I mean, there's always so much to talk about, not necessarily from a personal perspective, but just in terms of all the stuff that happens in the art world. I mean, just this week, Nate Freeman at Vanity Fair had an article published. You know, I only read part of the article, and I will read the whole thing this weekend because we do have time this weekend. But when this whole scandal broke about this Florida museum and the Basquiat show and whatever, I was just like, I wasn't even laughing because it's just a sad situation. I was just shaking my head because anyone who had been shown those Basquiats, because they had been shown around before that show, anyone who had seen them and looked at them with eyes that had seen any Basquiats ever in their lifetime would have been like, this looks a little bit off. I mean, does it look like anything we've ever seen before that Basquiat had done? I mean, just asking a question. You know, we're not in any way, shape, or form trying to blaspheme the works and whoever certified them and whoever whatever. But it reminded me of all the years in the art world where you see these works and they show you these works and they're like, you know, here's all the paperwork behind these works. There's always tons of paperwork with these works, tons of it, you know, just this expert verifying and this book verifying and this article verifying and tons of experts. Everyone is an expert and everyone is, you know, behind this work. And I think, I can't remember who said it, but years back there was one person in the art world who basically said, your instinct is perhaps the best way to know if what you're looking at is real or not. And generally, it's your first instinct before any of that stuff comes into your brain to start to rationalize it, why it would be yes or why it would be no, or just what is your first point of view before anybody says anything, before anybody opens their mouth. And I know this, when you talk about things being verified and provenance and blah 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 blah, nobody wants to hear about your instinct. Nobody wants to hear about your guts or your female intuition. None of that. You know, they want to talk about dollars and cents. But to be clear, when you talk about art and the creative process, all of that guts and instinct stuff every single day will trump any logical arguments you have about a work. It just is. I mean, there's no way, shape, or form around it to argue what is and what isn't real, or what isn't true, or what is a real work of art, what is a false work of art, what is nothing in the physical world in any way, shape, or form will trump the non-physical world. I mean, I think somebody else outside of art, but in the spiritual world, and you know, to say outside of art in the spiritual world is almost like it's an oxymoron because art is spiritual. But anyway, one spiritual thought leader once said that the world of spirit is so much bigger and has so much more power than anything we can see in the physical world. And I think that's true in general. The unmanifest is so much more powerful than what is around us in the concrete world already manifested. And that includes things, you know, like spirits. I'm probably going off on a tangent here and people are going to be like, what is she talking about today? But I think the fact that we as human beings have no idea about what actually goes on in the spirit world, but then in some way say, oh, that doesn't exist, this doesn't exist, that, you know, makes no sense. Our small brains can't even begin to comprehend the uncomprehendable. But anyways, read that article in Vanity Fair if you haven't read it already. Nate's been writing for many years, and I love seeing how he's grown in the field of art writing and matured, I guess, like all of us, into having relationships and families and children. This is a very beautiful thing as we get older. And I guess that's it for today, my rambling Art World Confessions. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification button, and have a great Memorial Weekend if you're in the USA. And again, keep being wonderful art people, and I'll see you again soon. Have a great week.